Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you all the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. Back again today with another video on the YouTube channel exclusively for you folks here on YouTube. It's a match preview to Wednesday night's fixture against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, the League Cup as I'd prefer it to be known. But we'll be talking all about that game, getting all the insight into the opposition, and also a bit of a score prediction, bit of a team prediction as well for Albion. But yeah, we'll be getting straight into this video. But before we do that, make sure you're subscribed to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So make sure you're subscribing. 1,000 subscribers, it's doable. We can do it. But make sure you're subscribing. We need your help to get involved. Also, comment your score predictions for the game in the comments below. It's going to be a very interesting game, and I'm looking forward to being back at the Hawthorns and going there myself, and also doing a match day vlog, which will be out over the course of the next couple of days. So make sure you're subscribing, particularly for that purpose. But yeah, let's get straight into this match preview for Arsenal versus West Bromwich Albion. So let's get straight into this match preview for the Arsenal and West Bromwich Albion Cup tie. Are we going to be up for the Cup? I'm sure that we'll find out in Valérien Ismaël's first Cup game as Albion manager. It'll be an interesting one for sure. I myself am particularly looking forward to this one. Being back in the ground, you know, going and taking another look. I know we haven't been there for like half a week or so, or a week since when the time comes for the game. But you know, it's nice to always be back at the Hawthorns and to be back sharing content with you guys from inside the ground, as I have started to do very recently, which is another reason why you should subscribe. But yeah, let's talk about the Arsenal team, because Arsenal, they're in a bit of, I'm not going to call it disarray, because I'd probably kill to be in Arsenal's position and have lots of money and lots of you know, Premier League status and league titles galore and trophies galore, but they are in a little bit of disarray, if I'm being completely plain with you. I think that Arsenal are having a few troubles in the club. I mean, they've got so many players that are dead wood, I'm going to say. Lots of players that are dead wood and lots of players that just don't get the transfer policy. They've started buying different players and buying younger players to come into the side for the future, which I suppose is quite nice for Arsenal, which they brought in people like Albert Sambi Lokonga over the summer, Nuno Tavares, who's going to be a decent fullback in the future as well. Also, you know, they've been buying players who really fit that image, like Ben White and perhaps even Aaron Ramsdale to some extent. So I think, yeah, there are younger players coming in and they're starting to change the transfer policy, but they're still 19th in the league at the moment in the Premier League after 2 losses after 2 games. I think Chelsea are a very good side. Nobody expected them to beat them, but I think Romelu Lukaku really showed Rob Holding and Pablo Mari how to get past the defender, because you know he's absolute class. Romelu Lukaku, obviously remember him from his Albion days, a season at Albion, and yeah, we loved him during his season here. So yeah, I mean, Arsenal are in a bit of trouble. It's fair to say that it wasn't necessarily the Chelsea game that caused a bit of trouble. It was the Brentford game being out. You know, what they did in that Brentford game was just silly, and particularly Mikel Arteta, what he did in that game was silly. I think to play out from the back when a team that are going to press you high in, and a team that are going to you know, they're playing their first game in the Premier League, and then you're going to press them particularly. They're going to press you particularly high, and their fans are going to be really up for it. So any chance that any sniff that they get of the ball, they're going to be welcome for. Arsenal didn't need to play out from the back, because all it did was fuel Brentford fans' energy and make the atmosphere more difficult for them. But see, I have a few issues with COVID, Arsenal. Obviously, and injuries, of course. Thomas Partey is out at the moment. Lots of different players are sort of out of the picture at the moment in terms of injuries and suspensions and stuff like that. See, Aaron Ramsdale playing on the bench last week. Albion fan Aaron Ramsdale, that is. But yeah, I think Arsenal, in terms of key players to look out for, Emile Smith-Rowe, I think is a very good player, and obviously caused us a bit of a problem playing for Huddersfield a couple of seasons ago, nearly preventing us from getting promoted, actually. So yeah, I think that's he's somebody to look out for if he is to play. Obviously, I'm not sure what sort of lineup Arsenal will go for, but I can see it being relatively strong because of this what's at stake for Arsenal, not what's at stake for us, because I just think that Mikel Arteta, the pressure is mounting on him, so therefore he may pick a slightly stronger side in order to try and secure a win or try and secure the points really for Arsenal. So I can see him going for a slightly more stronger side, but I think it's going to be an interesting game. Albert Samley Lukonga is a player that I've been impressed with. I don't see what he's done really. I don't really see what's wrong with what he's done wrong during his time at Arsenal so far. But yeah, I think he's not done a bad job at all since joining the club. But you have got players like that are just running out of time. Really, they just look poor as a team, Arsenal. And I'd be very, very up for this. If I was Valérien Ismaël, I'd be licking my lips and saying I can get myself a team. I can get myself a decent team together. I can get myself a win here because they're causing problems. They're being caused problems. They got caused problems by Brentford, who wanted to press high. Mikel Arteta is a bit too arrogant in terms of changing his game. So I'm hoping to see a good performance from Albion. In terms of our lineup, I think we're going to go for a bit of a mix of starting and not starting players. I think it'd be nice, but yeah, I think it's going to be quite nice. Quite nice to see. I think it's going to be really nice to see some of the young players getting involved. I hope to see Rayan Tulloch, who of course made his league debut against Blackburn in the last couple of minutes. Also, a player I'm looking forward to seeing is Kevin Castro, who I haven't seen in person yet. Obviously, a few of you guys who've been to the friendlies who managed to see him play in person, whereas I am yet to see that. Hopefully, he's going to get a start because obviously he'll be at the game. So, hoping to see him get a start. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to rest a few players, such as I'd like to see Livermore and Mowat rested if we can, and play somebody else in midfield. I'd like to see Robert Snodgrass come back into the side because he's had a long time out with injury and out with injury issues. So I'd like to see him back in the side. But yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the youngsters play. Hopefully, seeing some of those on the bench as well. Those who obviously we had a pretty bad defeat in the PL2 the other day, with a a defeat to Fulham in the Premier League 2. So that was a bit of a shame, to be honest. But I'm hoping that we can bring through a nice little win for ourselves in this particular game. I think if there's a time to play Arsenal, if there's a better time, there wasn't a better time to play Arsenal, it would probably be now. So I'm hoping that that's going to bring a bit of difference. And Snodgrass, I'm hoping to see in the team. But here's how my predicted lineup would go. So in goal, I'm going to go for Alex Palmer. I'd like to see him get a game in goal. Then as a back three, I think it's probably going to have to be a back three, isn't it? I think I'd probably like to see Kipre back in the side. It's going to have to be probably Ajayi and then probably Carl Bartley as well, maybe in the middle. It might be nice to see one of the young players playing there, but I don't think we have too many players that are particularly coming through and blossoming. Maybe Caleb Taylor, but I'm maybe not ready for a start yet. Maybe just ready for a substitute appearance if we can get him one. Then wing backs, I think I'd like to see Furlong on the. Well, yeah, I think we're going to have to stick with the wing backs, aren't we? We're going to have to stick with Furlong and Townsend. Maybe Gardner Hickman could come in. Maybe Ethan Ingram could come in and play in those roles. So not completely sure about that, but maybe there's scope for him to hop into those positions, and same with Gardner Hickman. So hopefully maybe we could see one of those. Then I'd like to see Snodgrass and Kevin Castro in the middle. Then I'd like to see a front three of, I think I'd like to see Callum Robb. I think maybe he needs a rest. Dean Garner, I think, is going to have to go in that front three. Same with Rayan Tulloch and maybe somebody like Modou Fall, who's been playing really well for the under-23s. I can't see Kenneth Zahor playing any part in this, and I personally wouldn't let him play any part in this, but I know he's quite strong, and Arsenal defenders proved that he could be bullied, but he's really done himself some harm with that performance coming off the bench against Luton. But yeah, maybe like to see somebody like Mo Fall, but I can't see him starting because he's not really played many roles in the friendlies, which I think he would have if he was going to start. Maybe just stick somebody like Robinson or Grant up there, give one of them a rest, and then maybe replace them late on in the game. But I think this is still a winnable game if you play to your strengths and try and press Arsenal high, because they're a team that doesn't like to be pressed high. They want to have the time on the ball. They want to dilly dally when they've got it, and they want to muck around on the ball. So I think, yeah, the best thing to do would probably be to press this Arsenal side and press them very high up the pitch. Hopefully seeing some youngsters play in the process, because obviously if it's just the same players all the time, it can get a little boring and tedious for a fan. But I'm hoping that we can we can see some of the younger players coming through and seeing some of their progress shown to some Albion fans in this particular game. In terms of my score predictions, I'm probably going to go for a. I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to say Albion will win on penalties. I hope that's the case, but because I'd love to. I've never seen a penalty shootout at the Hawthorns, I don't think. Maybe apart from the Villa game that we had. The Villa game would probably be my only other one, but hoping to see that. And maybe a win on penalties for Albion. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. It's going to be a decent game, and hoping to see some good performances from the Albion as well, and some of the younger players breaking through and showing their stuff in the first team. So that'll be also nice. But that does bring me to the end of this match preview on the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you're commenting down below what you think the score is going to be, who you're looking forward to seeing play, who would you play in the game, and all that jazz. Make sure you're subscribing. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year as well. So make sure you're subscribing, comment your score predictions, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be hopefully a match preview to the Peterborough game on Saturday night. I'll see you in the next one, Baggies fans. Goodbye.